The government plans to revive and revamp its previously abandoned refineries due to a significant increase in the cost of fuel imports amounting to $9 billion over the span of 3 years. Corruption and neglect, amongst others, have forced Africa's largest oil producer to be unable to refine its own crude oil, thus relying heavily on expensive imports of refined petroleum products. News Central's Ni Omoni evaluates the viability.
For many years, Nigeria's 4 refineries have been neglected, resulting in the country having to import refined products despite having the largest crude oil reserve in Africa.
The fresh subsidy is gone.
In May 2023, the government under Tinubu discontinued the subsidy regime, which had cost Nigeria nearly $4 billion in 2022.
Port Harcourt will come on board by the end of the year. Warri will start by the first quarter of next year. And then Kaduna will come on stream toward the end of next year.
This decision came after a series of unsuccessful attempts to restart, revamp or expand the refineries. Within a week of assuming office, Nigeria's new petroleum minister aims to make all refineries operational. However, the question remains, is this a realistic goal?
We don't know of any expansion that has been done, in terms of capacity. It is just, maintenance. These things are old. A lot of them have been built. The newest one is the new Warri refinery, which was built in New Port Harcourt refinery, which was built in 1989. Pretty much, there can't be hope, but to get people excited and to get people to believe in what they are, in the hope, they need to, put out more information as to why this current turnaround, the turnaround maintenance, the reports of the turnaround maintenance, to let us know what has been done differently that's going to, lead to an increased utilization of those refineries.
While Nigerians continue to face high rates for petroleum products, could the newly constructed Dangote refinery, in which the Nigerian government holds a major stake, be the solution the country needs in terms of production?
The good thing about private initiatives is, though they are out to maximize profit and minimize cost, but at the end of the day, they will comply with their civic responsibilities of paying taxes. That will be good for Nigeria. And around their host communities, they are likely to provide some services that we technically describe as corporate social responsibilities. So when you look at it from that angle, it will not be out of place to appreciate the coming in of Dangote refinery, even though they've not started work. As far as I'm concerned, we need Nigerians that will come in like that and let the government help them with either what they technically call moratorium or tax holidays.
Our leadership is going around to assess our security situation.
As the Nigerian government intensifies its crackdown on illegal oil refineries, the country is losing $7.2 million in oil revenue monthly. Addressing issues such as corruption and the risk associated with oil theft, energy experts say is crucial for Nigerians to fully enjoy the benefits of their natural resources. Ni Omoni, reporting for News Central Lagos.
Absolutely. And of course, interesting report there by Ni Omoni. The cleanup that is required in Nigeria's oil sector is, words can't even express it. It has to go as deep as possible. And of course, we're talking corruption, we're talking mismanagement, we're talking infrastructure, the building of refineries is so much. And it will not be done with mere words and promises. But Nigeria's Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris Malagi, has announced that the federal government would release more palliatives to Nigerians to cushion the impact of sufferings occasioned by the removal of fuel subsidy. The minister, who hosted the Niger State Governor Mohammed Umar Bago at the ministry's headquarters in Abuja, appealed to Nigerians to be patient over the pains arising from the removal of fuel subsidy, saying it is only temporary.
While some Nigerians are indifferent about the palliatives, some have completely condemned the move, which they say is a sham. One of those who have outrightly criticized the move is the spokesperson of the now-defunct PDP Presidential Campaign Council, Daniel Bwala. According to Bwala, the organized labor had demystified the 5 billion naira palliative to state governments, adding that calculations by the organized labor showed that each person would get 1,500 naira from the palliative. So the question is, what exactly is this 1,500 naira meant to solve? Is this 1,500 naira per day per week,
But
per month.
You know, so the thing, you know, when they even say these things, you know, it means that they have no plans for anybody who they assume is not, you know, poor or unemployed. But that's unfair to the average Nigerian because every single person, you know, is dealing with
this.
Exactly. Because, you know, I bought petrol yesterday, 20,000 naira petrol, you know, and I'll be honest, viewers across the country, that is the first time that I've bought 20 grand since the, you know, the increments happened. I've not had the guts to buy 20,000 naira petrol, but yesterday I decided to buy, and it gave me about 30-something liters. Because 10,000 naira petrol now is about 17 liters. And so it's been hard for me as a person now to transform into knowing that normally to fill my tank would take about 13 or 14,000. I drive I think a 50-liter tank or so, or 70-liter tank. I don't know what it is. But now I'm filling my tank with, you know, almost 50,000 or 55,000. So it's just, it's hard for everybody. So do I get palliatives? No. And so aside talking about what the average Nigerian who is seemingly earning, you know, a decent, you know, level of income, the poor people that you're meant to be giving palliatives, what are they going to use bags of rice for?
1,500 naira.
Even if you give them, you know, 1,500 naira plus those tiny bags of rice plus, you know, the, you know, spaghetti and onions and oil and all of that, what is that going to do to help them get through the period of you know, trying times? Because the cost of living is 5 times, 6 times, maybe even 10 times more than it used to be. So people still need to pay house rent. People need to pay school fees. People need to feed. People need to transport themselves. What is 5 cups of rice going to do for them?
So let me play devil's advocate, because whether or not they give them the 5 cups of rice, they will still be hungry. Or whether or not they give them those mini bags, they will still be hungry. So it's saying maybe they're looking at it from the perspective of at least let's do something rather than doing nothing at all. However, this is something that they are doing. I think the core focus should be on how to return the situation to status quo in the shortest possible time, because it is not sustainable. If you give people bags, those mini bags of rice now, they eat it, they're going to run out. Then what next? So how exactly do we expect people to get through this? It's not just feeding that is expensive. Healthcare is expensive. Transportation is expensive. So even if they get sick, how are they even going to be able to take themselves to afford hospital bills? Healthcare was expensive before now. We have been talking about National Health Insurance Scheme and being able to massively invest in that, such that the average Nigerian can have access to healthcare. Now it gets worse, right? So in
my opinion, it's a waste of money. And for me, it shows that the current administration still doesn't understand how much Nigeria needs to save. During, you know, the campaign, of course, there was one candidate that kept talking about how we need to save money, how we need to address Nigeria's spending problem. We do not have an income problem; we have a spending problem, and we spend recklessly. And that's why you see, you know, they don't even understand it, and you look the little optics around how they carry themselves. You see the Senate president still showing off his large entourage,
going on holiday.
You can imagine. You still don't hear them chilling on holiday. They're sending money to each other to go on holiday. So
those things are good for private individuals. If you're a private person, you're working privately, spend your money as you deem fit.
That is different.
But if you are working as a government official and you know that people are facing serious hard times, tough times, rubbing it, you know, posting all these fancy lifestyles is rubbing it in people's faces.
But again, it's not just because they intentionally want to rub it in your face. It really shows that they they don't care that much about the average Nigerian. And if you would give out hundreds of billions of naira, because what you're doing, you're wasting that money to something, you know, on a project that would have almost no effect on the lives of these people, then it means that you're not even a serious government that wants to address the issues of the people. But let's keep sharing palliatives. Hopefully it gets to me somehow.
Yeah, I'll be checking my account and I'll make sure that someone is at the gate to receive it on my behalf.
It's a shame. Yeah. It's a shame. And, you know, we could be nice, you know, about saying it, but it's a shame. And we should be embarrassed at ourselves. And the government, I believe, should be embarrassed at itself, including every state governor that takes that 2 billion and shares it, buys a bag of rice and onions and gives to people.
And do you know what is even sadder about this whole situation? Is the fact that even in all of this, there are still concerns that even that 2 billion naira will still be plundered.
Oh, yeah.
And will not get
it will
to
be.
The people
it's not concerns. It will be. Very likely will be. And, you know, every state government should also be ashamed of themselves that they can't even think of ways that they can use 2 billion naira for their state to make things easier for their citizens, aside giving out bags of rice and onions and oil. You should be ashamed of themselves. One thing Nigerians and Nigerian politicians and Nigerian, leadership to a large extent doesn't have is shame.
Of course. All right. We'll go on a break now. If you'd like to engage on any of the conversations, let us know what your thoughts are on Twitter, Instagram, on all social media platforms at News Central TV.